Hello, fabulous friends, fans, and superstars. Welcome to Synchronicity Web TV. I am your host, Nadiya Shah, and this is your moment of synchronicity. Well, I'm so excited to celebrate with you today, Ana Andrade. Now, Ana is actually somebody that I saw teaching a class with one of the astrology organizations, NCGR. And so if you are a professional astrologer, you might know there's a couple of orgs out there. And sometimes we have these webinars that take place. It's like personal development, but it's astrologers teaching other astrologers, enlightening other astrologers for other astrologers. And Ana was teaching a class on the vertex, and I found it to be brilliant. And I knew that there were going to be lots and lots of people who are going to love to learn about the vertex, as you are going to today. But of course, Ana is part of the January 2024 now speaker series at Synchronicity University. Yes, we are coming up to a brand new year. It's incredible how quickly the years go by. Let's enjoy the moment and be present for the moment. But yeah, she's coming to the January 2024 speaker series. You've got just a little bit time left to choose your tuition rate, as low as just $5 a class, an unheard of rate to learn from this caliber of astrologer, as you are about to see as we learn about Ana and the vertex in the astrology chart. Ana, welcome. Thank you for being here.
Welcome, and very welcome to my world as well. And thank you so much for the invitation. Thank you, Nadiya. Yes, from the bottom of my heart, I'm very excited about this opportunity. And I promise it will be a great talk about the vertex, a wonderful topic to learn about.
Absolutely.
Yes. So, well, greetings from Lima, Peru. I am from here, from Lima, Peru, and I had the time living in Argentina, where I studied astrology there. And then when I moved back to Peru, I continue with my astrology, and I'm here with consultation services and other activities outside astrology as well. And I'm very thrilled to talk about the vertex, a very interesting topic, and share it with you all.
Well, I'm so interested in talking about the vertex as well. And I did not know like where you were from. I just knew, oh my God, this astrology is brilliant. I love it. But I was very delighted to hear that you were from Peru, because as I mentioned earlier, and those people who've watched me for a while know, I spent a month there almost 2 years ago now. And it was so profoundly spiritual. It was such a healing place for me. But I really loved learning about the whole Incan spirituality, and they have their own zodiac. But of course, you are a Western astrologer. I'm a Western astrologer. And so we're bringing that interesting mix into what it is that we do. It's like, I don't know, for me, I feel like I honor my ancestors by being myself. And being myself means trusting wherever it is my astrology takes me. And yeah, there's a very rich, powerful tradition in Peru.
Yes, indeed. Thank you so much for that comment, because it is like the Western astrology helped me to understand more about my roots, and my roots also helped me to understand things about Western astrology and all the astrology that exists. No, not only the Western but also the Eastern. But it somehow is like there is a common ground. Is the communication with the celestial body are in many points of view. So at the end, it's like they have some common ground with different ways to talk with the heaven. That is amazing, and I am very happy to be involved in the astrology world. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's wonderful, isn't it? It's a wonderful world and community to be a part of, and to be able to speak that language, right? To just understand the symbols is such a powerful thing. So the vertex, let me tell you, I have had very powerful experiences anytime my vertex is activated. And so you may, I mentioned to anybody who'll listen, and God knows, again, people who watch me regularly, they know I have a Sagittarius moon. I'm very proud of my Sagittarius moon, even though I didn't consciously have any control over it. I'm very proud of it. And I feel at home in the world. But I also have my vertex in Sagittarius as well. Wow. And yes, and it is in the 5th house as well. The 5th house. Wow. I think that says everything right there, right? It just says everything. I mean, I enjoy being out into the world, But really, for me anyways, I have found when the vertex is activated, like if a planet conjuncts the vertex, it's people. Like people tend to come in. How do you understand the vertex? Let's start there. Tell me your perception on the vertex in the astrology.
First of all, the vertex is an axis. It is an axis. It's not a physical body. It's just an axis and a point of attraction of something. So the vertex is I think the fated part of the chart, something that is unexpected and the possibilities to encounter. I think that's the word, to encounter. Maybe we are not looking for something. We simply encounter and we have to deal with that. Could be an event that is good or not so good, but I think we have to assume certain consequences about that encounter. So, but that kind of encounter has some certain characteristic depending on the sign, the house, when there is a transit, or when we meet people whose planets can activate our vertex, or when the vertex changes when we relocate. When we go to another city or country for a season or love life experience, the vertex may change and may change sign or houses and can make other contact with other planets that are not a natural thing in our natal chart. So the vertex is like an antenna. I think it's like an antenna capturing things and events we cannot control, but we have to deal with that. And that I think that's the beautiful part of the vertex, because we can expect whatever. So studying and paying attention to that axis is very interesting to understand why people meet and get hooked in each other, or they repel, or there are certain experiences that you can see in certain transits and you don't know why, and the vertex is acting with a planet or with another alignment of the nodal axis, or maybe a MCIC or the ascendant descendant, depending on how the vertex is in relation to another part of the chart. So I think that is very interesting. It is very interesting because it can help you to understand certain things in life.
And so if we're looking at the vertex, so I'm going to be selfish here, but I won't be entirely selfish. The sign of the vertex, that describes, what does that describe to you if you look at the sign of the vertex?
For example, if you follow your vertex, would you say Sagittarius? No, you have the moon in Sagittarius as well. So Sagittarius, well, the vertex will bring you encounters that have to do with this sign. So it's kind of finding the truth while having fun. It is that, because it's in your fifth house, is that the house that you are most inclined to enjoy. It's a more enjoyable house. So it is like whenever you want to have fun, you also find truth without asking for that. It is like a natural equation that when you go to get rid of the stress, maybe you find not only happiness but also a meaningful experience that changes you without asking. And you feel that you find the truth and that you have more consciousness of something without paying much attention of that. So that when you have fun or when you are excited, you find more meaningful experiences than when you intentionally think about finding something. I don't know if I'm clear with that.
No, it's very clear.
So it is like a double surprise. Is that every time you have fun, you will find a lot of surprises. Even if you have a planned agenda for your travels, there are moments of surprise, uncertainty that will help you to open and broaden your vision of life.
And so when you talk about surprise and uncertainty, is that the Sagittarian energy, or is that the energy of the vertex itself?
No, it's that the vertex is the antenna, but it's dressed with the experience of the sign. Yes, because the vertex by itself is something that you encounter. what you encounter has to do with the sun, with the house, with the contact with other planets, etc. Something like that. But the vertex by itself, without any particular meaning, it's the encounter that you will have, and that we call it as a fate.
Wow. Yes. That's what I have found with the vertex. And I love that you mentioned that word. It's like fated encounters or meetings or experiences take place, and they make such an impression on you. That has been my experience with the vertex.
Yes, and the other word that comes along with vertex is the term electricity. Is well, I will explain that much better. But it's something that is electrifying. It's like no, when we meet somebody and say, oh, I get hooked on, oh, what happened? Or something that is not so happy is, oh, what happened? But it's like an electrifying. That's why the effect of the vertex is something that we encounter without asking for that. But we have to deal with that.
Ana, how do you feel about maybe just giving a couple of key words? Like, I don't know, if you want, we can do houses or we can do signs, but just a couple of key words to understand.
First of all, the vertex is not in all houses. It's from the 4th house to the 9th house.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's an axis. It has an astronomy. It has a astronomic explanation, but the vertex is not in the whole chart. It can be from the 4th house up to the 9th house. It depends on where the latitude comes, because it's a calculation depending of the latitude where you are in the world.
Oh my God, I love learning this stuff. This is awesome. Yes, please go ahead.
Yes. So the vertex will be in the right side of the chart. That's why it has the meaning of encounter with others, because it's in the right side of the chart, but with typical meanings of the 4th house, 5th house, 6th house, etc. So it is like tainted by the meanings of that houses, but it is that the surprises, encounters, the fated things will happen in the house that the vertex is located, with the disguise of the sign in which the vertex is involved. So in general terms, the keywords are the fated encounters, the destiny encounters. That is something that you cannot control. The events that you cannot control. I think that's the synonymous I will choose for the vertex. The events that we cannot control. And those events that we cannot control could be happy or not so happy, but we have to deal with that. And for the webinar, I mentioned a lot of examples of these fated encounters, how they describe the encounter in their own words, that it has a synchronicity with the vertex that they have in their charts. Yeah, so that is the beautiful part of the vertex. It's something unexpected with the rest of the world.
If your vertex is in the 4th, then maybe those unexpected moments, those things that take you by surprise, have to do with where you're living, or have to do with learning about your family and your roots.
Family, ancestors, our country, or our maybe family patterns as well.
Wow.
Yeah, maybe family patterns. Yes. For in general, the people that we live close to the equator may have the vertex around in the 4th house. While you go separate from the equator for north or south, the vertex can be from the 5th to the 9th house, depending on where you are. And that's why I mentioned about relocation, because the vertex is calculated is the right angle, the 90 angle for where I am. So now I am Lima, 90 degrees from here. The calculation of the vertex has to do with this place. But if I move to another city, for La Paz in Bolivia, maybe I will move. It will be 90 degrees from there. When I go to another country, it will be 90 degrees. So wherever I move, the vertex may change sign or houses, including. Yes. For example, in Peru, my vertex is in Aquarius in the 9th house. Yeah. When I lived in Argentina, my vertex changed to Capricorn in the 8th house. Practically 30 degrees. No, while the planets move one house to another, the vertex may jump. Yeah, so when we relocate, when we travel to another places, we have to look at the vertex because it may change and make contacts with other planets that we don't have in our native chart. So that's the beautiful part of the vertex when we relocate, because we will see experiences of people traveling to other cities, and they happen some consequences traveling that may not be seen because of the vertex acting with another planet.
That's so fascinating. Yeah, I'm like rethinking my experiences because I do like to have experiences when I travel. And so I'm just rethinking so many of them, like, wow, possibilities that have been there.
Yeah. Nadiya, try, because maybe if you cast your chart for Cusco, Peru, where you've been, maybe your vertex may change sign and house.
That makes a lot of sense.
Maybe your vertex won't be in Sagittarius, will be in another sign or in another house, and making contact with a planet in your chart that you have not considered. I don't know. Who knows? Maybe you can try having a little experiment, changing relocate your chart to Cusco, Peru, where you've been. Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm absolutely going to do that for sure. And I think going forward, because I love using relocation charts when I travel. And so for those of you out there who might not be familiar, relocation is just another technique that astrologers like to use to look at your relationship to a particular place. And so there are different ways to understand that. But yes, it's very easy to find relocation charts if you go on a established website like astro.com, very widely respected in the astrology community. You can pull up a relocation chart for wherever it is that you might be going, and you can see how that place might awaken different parts of you. And I also wanted to add, if you are interested in figuring out where your vertex is, you can also go to astro.com and select it, and it'll show up in your birth chart there as well. And so, yes, I'm really looking forward to exploring that understanding. We did talk about what that means, vertex in the 5th house, because of course, yes, I have so much fun when I travel. My whole energy changes so much. I'm so interested in meeting new people and different types of people. And I just feel this whole other type of energy kick in for me that is about joy in life, and also understanding my own heart. Like I really understand what my heart is saying and wants when I am honoring that vertex and in the 5th house energy of that. And so I guess the 6th house would be work, right? Like through your work has the tendency to take you by surprise, go through changes. The people you interact with every day could be very fated connections.
Yes, and of course the routines and the habits, maybe the way we do our daily work, our routines, maybe it could be something that is unexpected, that you are doing your daily routines and something unexpected happens all the time. When you go to work, something happens, or when you're cooking, something happens. It interrupts the natural process of the routines. No, taking the meaning of the 6th house in a broader sense of routines, habits, including those episodes in which our health is not in our best mood. So sometimes we have to take care about that as well. So something unexpected could happen, or prone to accidents, or prone to be interrupted by any health issue. There could be a factor that could be considered in the vertex as well. Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's incredible. Yeah, to take into consideration, because it is really when health issues come up that you realize the power of fate. Right? And it doesn't necessarily mean, let me just say to everybody out there, just because you have a 6th house vertex doesn't mean you're going to have a life of health issues. No, it's just a tension. And it's just through health related matters, you might make key contacts or come to certain understandings that feel very fated, or like you said, the electricity finds you.
Yes, the electricity, something interrupts the daily routine, no? For example, in the 5th house, going back to the 5th house, could be winning the lottery as well. Yeah, I remember a client that had the vertex in the 5th house, and I observed that Venus will be in contact with her vertex and say, play the lotto, play some, and she won a little money, but she won in a random way. Yeah.
I have that coming up. I'm going to put a big reminder in my calendar. Buy a lottery ticket every day that week. I'm going to do it. No, I know if it's meant to be like one lottery ticket is enough, but that is a great tip. I am going to pay attention to that when
yes, and with the Sagittarius way, maybe a lot of that is for a foreign company, so, yes, or maybe some logo with a horse, something like that. You can pick and try.
Oh my goodness. These are brilliant suggestions. Okay.
Yeah.
The 7th house. So the 7th house is partnership. It's love, right? Like just things changing in love. The electricity of love really being very notable in your life.
Yes. Not only love, it could be partnerships, or in general, how we interact with other people. Maybe we have a tendency to attract people that criticize us, or maybe that they are very selfish with us. Depending on the sign, depending on the context, we may find there are certain pattern of people that we attract or we interact, and we don't know why. We are trying to do our best and say we're the same old story happening all the time with people, and you may not understand why. So it's very interesting to know about the vertex in the 7th house. It could be finding or encountering a great relationship, a forever, everlasting relationship, or maybe it could be a relationship for a season that impact us as well. Impact us as well, and bring us a learning, and we have to deal with that.
And so the 8th house, how do you understand the 8th house? Related to money as well, or related to psychology? How do you interpret that vertex in the 8th?
Well, it only have to do with crisis and share resources. Of course, the end of life as well. It could be a factor that maybe it's provoked. In fact, some of the examples have to do with certain deaths that happen in which the vertex was activated. But not going to that fatal consequences, we can expect some changes in the shared resources or an unexpected crisis.
It's so interesting, Ana, because actually I love how you described the 8th house. I do have the sun in the 8th house. And so what you talk about, like crisis, I think of it as how the 8th house is associated with life, death, and rebirth, right? Like those moments when you really have to see what's inside of you, or you have to get to some deeper truth. These needs for changes are just going to come up. And I guess with the vertex, it's especially dramatic.
Yes, it is. So there are many things happening in the 8th house, because it's an intense house, but the vertex may exacerbate certain issues about that house. So we have to analyze if these shared resources are a crisis, or maybe the end of life, that happens as well.
And finally, you mentioned you have the vertex in the 9th house. And so I think that's opportunities to travel, right? Or to teach. Look at you, you're teaching at Synchronicity University. You're teaching on this international space, right? The online space, the international space, bigger than before. That all sounds very vertex in the 9th, like these opportunities would just come up. Yeah.
Yes, and as I mentioned, when I moved to Argentina, it was not planned. It happened, and when it happened, I studied astrology there. So it is that all the surprises that come with the relationship with the foreign countries, from people from abroad, teaching, expanding horizons, and in an apparent way. So, it fits very well with my life. So I am very excited about my vertex in my 9th house. Is always looking for long distance knowledge, not only travel, but knowledge as well. No, it's that the entire world is my home, so to speak.
Oh, I love that. I love that. I know I feel that in all kinds of ways with a Sag vertex, a Sag moon, which I tell everybody about. Anybody who'll listen knows that about me. But yes, I love that vertex in the ninth can give you that feeling as well. And so once again, everybody, look how brilliant Ana is. And Ana is coming to Synchronicity University as part of the January 2024 speaker series. You've got a very limited time left to choose your tuition rate, as low as just $5 a class, to learn from Ana and these other brilliant astrologers who are part of this upcoming program. Ana, thank you. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you so much, and I'm really excited about your class. Like I said earlier, I loved the talk. I only was able to watch a little bit, but I was like, oh my God, I want this woman at Synchronicity University. I love what she's saying. I love what she has to say. So I'm really excited that people got a little bit of a feel of that today, but are going to be able to really understand that much more coming up very soon at Synchronicity University. So thank you again, Ana, for being here.
Thank you, Nadiya. I'm very excited. So see you soon. See you soon.
Yes. And thank you, everybody out there, for watching. Until we connect again, take care. Bye.
Bye.